I was just in Regina last month visiting small business owners and interviewing them for another podcast that I do. And that's all they want to talk about, right, is tariffs and what this means and the inflation that we just came out of and looks like we're in for again. What do tariffs mean for Canadian businesses and consumers? Are we looking at more inflation?
So I want to push back on that because this is sort of a common narrative that we're seeing in the media.
Okay.
All they're focusing on is the inflationary impact. And the reality is I think that's a secondary story. I'm actually not that concerned about inflation flaring up here. I'm much more concerned about the effect it's going to have on our growth rate, on our industries, on our ability to sell to the US. I think it's more of a depressant on growth rather than a stimulant for inflation. Yes, we are putting reciprocal tariffs or retaliatory tariffs on some things we're importing from the US. Some of what the US is putting tariffs on is going to blow back onto Canada.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not that concerned about inflation. Look, we've had a big drop in gasoline prices. We've actually seen a number of commodity prices coming down because there's concerns about the outlook for the global economy. As I said, we've got a much looser labor market than we had a couple of years ago. I'm more worried about the weakness in growth than the uptick in inflation. And as I said, I want to push back on this media narrative, that's really just focused on the inflationary impacts. I don't think that's as big a deal for Canada. I'm much more worried about weak growth.